Very good afternoon, students. So today we will discuss something about prepositions. Prepositions are nothing but words governing, and they are placed before. Their position is before a noun or pronoun, and they establish a relation in between that noun or pronoun with other words or clauses which are present in the sentence. That is their job, to build a bridge. This is the very job of a preposition. So today we will discuss about prepositions. So let me show you something where it will be clearer for you to understand it. There are some graphical presentation, how according to position, place, and all these are things, all the aspects which governs and defines a preposition, they are given there. I hope it will be interesting for you. Let's go there. Here it is. I think you are able to see the screen, and it is written there. Heading is preposition. It's my handwritten note. You might find a little bit difficulty, but don't worry. I will send you that PDF also. So here it is written that preposition is a word placed before a noun or pronoun to show the relation between the noun or pronoun and some other word on a sentence. So the kinds of relation indicated by prepositions. At first, the first relation we will deal with, this is place. Position means place. So let's see how according to place these things are used. See, here it is written to, and within the bracket it is written direction. Means I went to the door. Means this is me. And that is the X cross is the object, main purpose, the door. And the round is you. Means you went to there. Means door. Means there is a movement. And you are moving in a particular direction. In that case, and all these scenarios, we use to. Now see at. Means within bracket it is written position. I remain at the door. Means see here X is the door and you are standing by the door. And you are not moving, you don't have any direction to go. So there you can use it at. The preposition at is generally used in such scenario where the sense is like that, the main object is a standby object and his position is mentioning according to another object which is again a standing object. Next come to away and from. Not away, this is from. The sense is away, that is why away is within the bracket. Main thing is from. And it also tells us something about direction. Means see, you can compare it to and from. To means you are moving towards the object. And from, this is the object X mark and you are moving away from it. That is why away is written within the bracket. I came from the school. Means my school is there. And I came far away from it. So sense is way. That is why way is written within the bracket. Then comes away from. Directly we write it away from. And this also denotes position. See, I remain away from the door. So you compare in between at and away from. At, here the object and you both are standing nearer to each other and both are standing object, stationary object. Here also both are stationary, but the distance is far. So it depends. If you are standing by the object, it becomes at. If you are standing very far from it, then you use away from. So that is how you need to understand what you want to say. What is the relation in between you and the very object between whom you want to make the relation. So away from is creating a bridge in between that object and that person, and it is telling how far they are. Are they nearer to each other? At is representing their proximity. They are far from each other. Away from is representing how far away they are. So it depends on their proximity whether they are near or far. Now come to another thing, that is line. and which is lengthwise. This is not mentioned three-dimensionally, only lengthwise. Now see, on, that is direction. How? See, what is it written there? I rolled the ball on the wickets. Means what? You are throwing it onto the wicket. That is why 2 is written within the bracket. You compare it from here, away from. Away was written within the bracket. Means you are not telling directly, you are moving. You are not stationary. That is why away is within the bracket. This is moving. Here the ball is also moving. That is why the ball is not stationary. That is why 2 is within the bracket. So on the wickets means you just threw it there. You rolled it and the ball reached the wicket. So there is a lengthwise. The ball is moving lengthwise. 4 meters away from you are throwing the ball. So the ball travels 4 meters lengthwise. Then comes on, which denotes generally position. So same on is in different sense. One, it was direction, and another, its position. Kolkata is on the river Hooghly, just on it. Or I might place a ball. Let me show you it. Just a second. Yes. Here, I'm holding this pen, and here it is touching the upper surface of my hand. That is why there I can call it on it. If something is on somewhere else, which means that particular object is touching the upper surface of another object, and there it is placed. It is not moving. It is a stationary object that is on. So 2 things you can make with on. One is you are rolling it somewhere like that. It is direction, and the same on is representing position, which is a stationary position. So both movement and being stationary are represented by on. Let's move over to the next one. Here you can see it is written that off, OFF, which is a direction. Again direction. I got off the bus. Means you just came out of the bus. This is it is very beautifully represented here within this graph. Suppose this is the bus here, that line, and you are getting off it. Jumping. You are getting off it. There is no string attached with that bus. Same off can also denote position. The ship is anchored a mile off the coast. Means here is the coast, the border, and it is situated beyond the border of the coast, very far away. So the same off, one time it is denoting direction, and in the next time it is also denoting position. So this is how actually the same preposition can denote different sense. What you need to do, you need to understand what are the conditions associated there, where you need to write that sentence. You establish a particular condition, and preposition will help you to create a bridge in between the object and your condition. Now come across. Across is again direction. I went across the Nepal border. Means on one side is there, and on the other side you are crossing it. Suppose I am telling you, same thing can also be represented by another preposition which you will come to know after some time, that is true. Suppose the bullet went through my heart. Means on one side it takes its entry, and on the other side it exited. So that is why the across is the same thing. I went across the Nepal border. Means this is the border and you crossed it. So that is again denoting a particular direction. From which direction you are moving towards what? From India you are moving towards Nepal. That is how you are crossing the border of Nepal. So again across denoting direction here. Next one is there, along. Along is also direction. I walked along the river bank. Means the way the river is flowing, the way the bank is there, you are moving along with it. You are moving along the road. Means you are following the road. You are not going across. The bridge is there across the river because the river is flowing on one side, and the bridge is there exactly the opposite. That is why across, and one is along. Along means you are flowing with the tide. Remember this thing. You are flowing with the time. And that is how you make that preposition along. You use it. If the sense is like that, you are moving something with the object. The way the object is moving, you are moving the same way parallel to it. That's where we use along. Now move over to the next one, that is on to. To is here within the bracket. That also says something about direction. Means I fell on the ground. Means what? I am standing, and from standing position I am now falling onto the ground. So now this is not lengthwise. This is here, it is written surface. Surface is there, three-dimensional is there. You are falling on that surface. You are not moving lengthwise. I am standing and I fell. Suppose I had a summer stroke and then I fell. Suppose I felt dizzy and I fell. So from standing position, stationary position, I am falling onto the ground. That is why it is written there surface. So there also we can use fall or fell, whatever the past tense is fell. So the sense to means why to? Because direction is associated there, movement is associated there. That is why we mean to. Again, in case of surface, according to surface sense, we use on to denote some position. Like I sat on the sofa. Suppose this is the whole sofa. Wherever you sit, you are sitting on the sofa. It's not that you are sitting away from it. It is you are sitting on the sofa. If the whole thing is sofa and wherever you sit, whether it is the far end, in the middle, wherever you sit, you are sitting on that sofa. Means within the border of the sofa. That's what the sense is. Position means this is the last border edge of the sofa and you are sitting inside it, not out of it. It doesn't matter how much inside you are, whether you are middle or far end, wherever you sit. If you are within the border, you are on the sofa. Now I fell off the ladder. Now see, suppose you are climbing a ladder and somehow it fell. So from the wall against which ladder is placed, you are moving away from it. That is why I fell off the ladder. Off is actually as if it was glued, attached there, and somehow that glue became weak and you were falling from there. Just like a rope snaps, it is the same way. Off sense use OFF. It is getting torn. That's how it comes off. Now again off, I told you that is a position according to the surface. The old town is now off the map. Means it is not inside the map. This is off the map, out of the boundary of the map. And that's why, and that's where we use OFF. I am off the coast. That is off the map. Means off means you are crossing that particular limit or boundary. And there you are standing. These are both stationary. This object and this space, they are both stationary and you are standing there. Means now the town is there. The town hasn't changed its place, but it has just gone beyond the border. Because when the new people, I mean the authority, they drew the border, somehow the town, it could not make its presence inside the border. It is now off the border. Now comes across, which is again direction. I told you, I ran across the field. Means you are not running along the boundary of the field like that, which we call perimeter. But now what you are doing, you are moving across it. Right in the middle of the field you are moving, as if the storm is reaping through a village, not circling the village's border, reaping through the village. You are now moving exactly in between the field. Last thing is there, through what I was telling, that is direction. From one side it is taking its entry and from the other side it is exiting. That is, I looked through the window. Means from one side you are there, your vision starts from inside the room and now it is stretching through the window and now it can see whatever the objects which are there far away from your position. So compare and just imagine your vision to be a ray, like a torchlight, and that ray is starting from your eyeball and now it reaches to those objects which are there standing far away from you. So your movement is from one side to the other side, and in between there is a gap that is called window. Through the window you are watching. I told you the bullet went through my heart. the arrow pierced through the fruit, means on one side of the apple the arrow takes its entry and from the other side it came out. So these are the criteria we use to denote the relation in between a particular noun or pronoun with some other words or clauses which are present in the sentence. And that's how we build a bridge in between them. We can express how they are related. And this is the particular job of preposition. So today this is the first part of the preposition, what you are reading now, and what I am trying my best to explain it to you. Just make it clear, revise it. Don't just read it for once. Again and again, you resume, pause, play, and keep on doing this thing, this whole video. You watch it several times and make your mind fresh, and all your doubts should be cleared. Within this video, anywhere, if you have any doubt, don't hesitate calling me. Just give me a message that this part I could not understand. I will try my best to make it clear for you. So that's all for today, students. Let's call it a day. Thank you. I hope you will revise well.